So just setting up for our Facebook Live, okay, oh, awesome. So it looks like we're on now. Yep, perfect.
Yep.
So today we thought Deb and I would come on and talk about creating good habits, because we know at this time of the year when we're so busy that we do drop some of our good habits, if you like, or create bad habits. So we are actually unpacking the book Atomic Habits by James Clear next week on our book club. So join us on that book club where we will spend an hour unpacking the book and hearing from others as well of what some insights inside of it. I'm just I've got two different screens on at the moment, so I'm a little bit confused of which one I'm looking at. That's better. I've got our Zoom back on. Awesome. So yeah, so there's so many great tips inside of that book. And I thought we'd just have a general chat about some of the habits that we've noticed for ourselves, and perhaps give you some guidance as well on some of the tips of some of the habits that you can create yourself. So Deb, did you want to perhaps talk about one of your habits that you've created over the time and how you did it?
Yes, so I love James Clear's book. It really resonated with me. I love he simplifies it. There's a lot of science and maths and all sorts of things with it, but he helps you digest it in really easy ways. So, his 4 principles, and I'm looking at it on my screen here, and make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. And one of the habits that I wanted to create was regularly reading. And I found what I would do typically when I started the day, and I'd grab a cup of tea and I'd go upstairs to my office and I'd turn on my computer, and I had the book in front of me, because that's what I thought, I'll make it obvious. It'll be right in front of me, and I'll read that before I start any work. But what I found was I was like, I would go straight to my emails because I turned my computer on. And so I go, I'll just check, see if there's any urgent emails that I need to respond to. And so the book never got read. And I started, when I was reading his book, I thought, okay, I need to change the way I'm doing things. It's not working for me to go upstairs and sit at my desk. I need to have a reading nook. So, and I also need to do it away from my computer. So not even be tempted to open the computer and go to the emails. So what I did was I would change my habit. When I got up, I would go into the kitchen, make a cup of tea, and then I would sit. I've got a chair in a lovely spot that's really pleasant to be in. It's warm, it's cozy, it looks out onto the garden. So it's a pleasant one to be in. I think that's really important as well. And I would have my book there. And so I'd have a cup of tea and I would read for half an hour. And then I'd put the book down and then start my day, go upstairs, open the computer. But I had created that habit. It was just thinking about, and that's what James helps you do. It helps you think about, firstly, what are you currently doing that's a habit? Getting up, making a cup of tea, going to the computer, whatever it is. And then thinking about what you could change, because it's not a good habit to get up, grab a cup of tea and go in to open your computer and check your emails. There are other things you need to do first, I believe anyway. And that really worked for me, to set up a designated area where the book was there waiting for me, and I didn't have to divert. It was easy for me to do. So I made it obvious. I made it easy. I made it rewarding because I was there looking outside a window and it was satisfying.
Yeah, that's a lovely idea of a way of improving that habit of that the reading in such a lovely way. And I know for myself that I'm a bit of a procrastinator in the morning. I find it sometimes hard to get up and get moving. And I wanted to be more productive in my day. So I've had developed the habit of getting up and grabbing my laptop and going straight out to a coffee shop and sitting there and going through my emails or planning the day and just relaxing. But, spending, I could be there an hour or an hour and a half, just going through, what I needed to do, responding to emails and just planning and just thought provoking without all of the, interruptions or you get stuck in your office and you've got so many things that you can be doing and, through different screens and different distractions. So you just turn it all off and just go and do one purposeful thing. And it might be writing a blog. I'd go every Wednesday and sit down and have a coffee and write a blog. So there was it was an enjoyable thing to do. And I always love going down to a coffee shop, going down to the beach. And the same with walking. When it was lovely weather, it would be the first thing that I would do. I'd go down and go and do a walk on the beach. So it's just creating those habits that are enjoyable and making you do them. So you're combining the nicety with something that is, important for you to do as well.
Yeah. And I was speaking to, giving you another, we've got lots of examples of what other people have used to create some good habits. And I was speaking to a licensee recently who said that with COVID and isolation and the cold weather, we live in Melbourne, so it's cold, it's winter, and he felt that he was not exercising enough, his back was playing up, he felt like he was putting on weight, and he knew he needed to get out there. And it was interesting because I was chatting with him and he said, but I don't like to walk in the cold. I don't like to be cold. And I, keeping in mind, in the back of my mind, what I'd learned with James Clear, I said, so how could you make that, make it obvious, make it easy, make it enjoyable, make it satisfying, using those principles. And I suggested, how about if so rather than thinking, no, I don't like to walk in the cold, outside in the cold, I want to exercise inside, but you can't go to the gym at the moment. That's all blocked off for people that live in the greater metropolitan area in Melbourne. And so he wasn't doing any exercise. So I said, what if you grabbed a coat and a beanie and maybe even your gloves and put it near the front door? So that's making it obvious. And he said, oh, yeah, I could do that because I've got a hook right at the front door where we put our coats and what have you. And I said, and then you work out a time of the day that you're going to do it. So when I finish this task, I'm then going to walk. The other obstacle that he found is that his partner wanted to, he would go for a walk for an hour. And this licensee felt that he didn't have the time for that. And I said, well, don't go for an hour. That's another strategy that James uses. He said to start a habit, do it for 2 minutes only. So I said, if you feel, no, I can't go for an hour, so I won't do it at all. So it's all or nothing. To actually create the habit, make it obvious by putting your coat and your hat, make it so that you just walk to the door and then walk around the block. Do something for 2 minutes. And it's quite amazing. I spoke to him then a week later, and he's been doing that every day. So because he made it obvious, he made it easy, the coat was already there, he didn't make it, and he'd made the decision that he was going to do it at a particular point in time, and he was only going to walk around the block. And within a week, that really started to happen within a few days. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So it becomes achievable when you don't expect too much. You don't think you're going to go for a walk for 30 minutes. Let's just start with the 2 minutes. And then, and as James, talks about increasing by increments as well. So, all of those tips that we will unpack next week on Wednesday at 12 o'clock. So join us on that Facebook Live. But I'd also love to hear from you if you pop in the comments of what a good habit that you have created and how you have created it. So that would encourage other people as well. So feel free to share your comments there as well. So appreciate that. And we will hopefully see you at the book club next Wednesday. Otherwise, we'll be back on Facebook Live next Friday. So we'll see you then. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.